So it is July 5th, probably about 12:30 a.m. last I checked. It's about 72 degrees. I'm riding around in Middletown, New York, just after a heavy rain. So there's a lot of fog. And I'm testing out this really silly setup that I have. So basically I have two of the brightest bicycle lights that I can get from Amazon. They're spotlights, the kind that you would mount on like handlebars. And I have them mounted on top of my bicycle helmet. And it looks ridiculous. I know that for a fact. I'm looking at it and it looks silly. But it's working for what I need it to do, which is allow me to see in the dark. And hopefully it's also allowing for this camera to get a better night video. Main reason I'm doing this is because the other light that I got, which was so good when I first got it, but it seems to have crapped out after about not even a couple of months. But that one was a floodlight, and it would show, I mean, it illuminated everything. But I started to notice that it was dying really quick. The battery doesn't stay very long. And then when I went to check it again, not only was the battery not working the way it should, I noticed a couple of lights were burnt out already. Maybe not burnt out, but they just weren't turning on. So it's useless, sadly. I need to find another setup because these are spotlights and they only illuminate right in front of me. Now, if I check out the video and it turns out that it actually does the job, then that might be the setup. I do plan on getting another helmet though, because like I said, this looks fucking ridiculous. So if I get not a full face, but more of maybe a 3/4, where it has the sides built in, I can mount these one on each side, so it won't look so stupid. It'll still look dumb, but it won't look, it'll also be more balanced, because right now it feels like I'm carrying 10 pounds on top of my head, like on the very top of my head. At least this way it'll be balanced on each side. But we'll see how that goes. This helmet, I really just got it just because when it gets hot, I need something that isn't gonna make me sweat and pass out, like my full face motorcycle helmet. All right, so we're gonna head up to the park now. I'm not going in the park. It's closed after dark. Let's go through or along the park and get to another area that might be well lit, at least, and see how this setup looks. Now, the weird thing is there is a car parked in the park's parking lot, and that's always suspicious. But whatever, fuck it. Like I said, I look ridiculous, but I don't care, because it is more functional. We're also testing the mic for wind noise, because I'm going probably about 20 miles an hour, so maybe you don't hear me. I tried to do this test in a previous video, and sadly it wasn't the mic's fault. I fucked up, and when I put it away, I actually unplugged it, so it didn't record anything the whole time I was riding. And those are little things that happen when you're trying to make videos like this. Little things like that happen, especially when you try to do a setup on a cheap. Right now I have the DJI Pocket 2 mounted on the same chest harness that I have, so you might see some bouncing. It's not very secure, it's very loose, unfortunately, because it's a cheap thing, you know. And the weird thing is the more expensive sturdy chest harnesses are not made for action camera like setups. They're made for like professional digital camera setups. So it's not even going to work with my setup right here. What is that? What is that I'm seeing? That's an animal, but I can't tell what it is. Is it a cat? It's a cat. We'll go this way because I see lights. So right here is really dark. I don't know what you're seeing, but once I get past this, it's going to be nice and bright. Yeah, here we go. I think I rode through here in a previous video that I may or may not have already published, because I'll be honest with you, I lose track. I've lost so much. There's been videos that I've just scrapped because they turned out to have had so many errors in them. But this place is well lit. Yep. A lot of deer. And then I have some backlog videos that are unfortunately not going to have good audio, because I was still playing around with the different types of microphone setups that I had, and half the time I didn't even use a microphone, or the microphone was so garbage that I'm just going to use the built-in microphone of the camera, which is not great. Hopefully this new setup, which I mentioned in a previous video but I'll mention again, is the Hollyland Lark M2 microphone, wireless microphone. It seems to be doing really well in a lot of my other tests, so hopefully it's doing well now. But once I start getting all those older videos edited and put out there, you know, then we'll see a change in the performance. I am not going that way. It's too dark over there. I'm gonna go through this little apartment complex because they have light. I still want to post those videos because even though the audio is going to be shit, it's going to show my progression. So I've already had a few comments in my later videos of how much more steady I seem on this thing, but I want to show these videos in progression so that you can actually see, oh, each time it's a little bit better. Each time's a little bit better. So I'm trying to get those out. I have probably 20 different videos that I've recorded that I need to edit, and a lot of them are like 30 minutes plus, which I will edit down to like hopefully 10 minutes, but I will also leave the longer versions available to members only. Okay. All right. I'm gonna do one more pass. I'm gonna do a quick pass along this route that I normally ride, that I've been riding before. So you're gonna see a lot of videos eventually. If you're watching, you're gonna see a lot of videos in that area. I don't want to go through that area anymore because, one, like I said, I've done it to death. I've been riding through there a lot. But two, there seems to be an increased amount of homeless in that area, and I already had a bad situation. It wasn't terrible, but I've already had an encounter with one of them, and I just don't want to deal with that because you can't tell what you're dealing with. Maybe they're actually nice people just down on their luck, or maybe they are completely fucked up in the head and they'll stab you for nothing. So I don't want to deal with that. So I will take a quick pass through. As you can see here, this is where it begins. It's really dark, it's really foggy. The ground is actually kind of wet, so I'm just gonna take a quick pass. Not gonna slow down, not gonna try and stop, not gonna go through the little dead end road that I normally go through. I'm not fucking around with that. Okay. I just got quiet because I just passed a little spot where there's always a guy there, and I saw him there. I haven't had an issue with that guy yet, and I don't plan to. But you know, I don't need to make my presence that, you know, noticeable, because like I said, you never know. And he might not be alone. He might be the one I see, and there might be like 3 or 4 more hiding in the shadows. You don't know. I don't need to take that chance, is what I'm trying to say. And it is really hard to see. I don't think you're gonna see it on camera, but this light that I have is getting diffused and refracted from all the mist and fog, to the point that it's hard for me to see in front of me, and I don't like that. But I do need to scan around just in case. These lights thankfully are really bright, so you know, I have a good chance of seeing if anybody's like hiding. Now I'm about to pass another spot where there was a guy. I'm not gonna go in it though. It's to my left right now, but I'm not going into that road, because as I said, alright, I'm also hearing some weird sounds that could be animals or it could be people trying to, you know, be slick. So I'm out. I'm leaving. Not playing around. Alright. That's probably not going to be in the public video. But anyways, yeah, this area, unfortunately, I don't feel as secure as I did like a year ago or even 2 years ago. Because of that. Because there's an increase of just people being here that you don't know. I doubt it picked it up on the microphone, but there was like a chirping sound just as I was showing up, and I saw the fox. It wasn't the fox making that sound, and honestly it didn't sound like an animal either. It sounded like somebody pretending to be an animal, which could mean like they see these bright lights and they think police, so they're warning somebody else. And if that is in fact the case, then that means that there's more than one person there. And it's also kind of suspicious if they're warning each other. Or it could just be my imagination and it's actually just an animal. I don't know. I don't want to find out either way. Again, I have no idea what you can see. I really hope that you can actually see stuff. Like, otherwise this is going to be a shit video. Now the previous videos that I made, are those deer or fox? Those are deer. Those are baby deer. The previous videos that I made, I was wearing a motorcycle helmet, and my motorcycle helmet has all the mounts for all kinds of stuff. So I can mount a camera to the front of the helmet and lights to the top of the helmet. And for some of those videos, I hope they came out pretty good. I still haven't checked them. Even though the audio is going to be shit, the video should be better, because I had the really bright but also wide floodlight mounted to the top of my helmet. And then I had, depending on the video, I either had my action camera on my helmet and the Pocket 2 on my chest, or I just had the Pocket 2 on my helmet. This video probably is not going to look so great, but again, I don't know until I get home and actually check it. I plan on putting this one out before I checked the other ones. I do need another helmet. Like I said, I need one that is like a 3/4 helmet, so that I can mount the lights in a way that is more user-friendly, better balanced, and doesn't look stupid or as stupid, so that I can actually do a little bit more riding. Once it gets cooler, I can always go back to my motorcycle helmet. But I am also limited. Ow! That hurt. I didn't see that pothole. I'm also limited as to where I can actually go at night that is brightly lit like this, because this area is still pretty wild, and a lot of the roads don't even have, they're just country roads that have no street lamps whatsoever. I also have a video where I did that, and I still haven't checked that video. I hope it actually looks good. But I went about 20 minutes out, middle of fucking nowhere, but I had bright lights, so it was like everything was lit up. And that area was like every single horror movie that happens in the woods. That's what it looked like. But it was actually kind of nice. It was winter, fall time where there was no brush, so you can see deep into the woods. But it was still warm enough that I could actually ride with my motorcycle jacket and helmet without freezing my ass completely. But alright, I'm not going to push my luck anymore. I don't know how long I've been riding or recording. And they did say it's supposed to rain again, so. Oh, and there was a fireworks show on July 3rd, and I did record it with my Pocket 2. Sadly, I didn't realize that my settings were off, and the focus it couldn't actually focus. It refused to stay focused in such a way that it was usable. So every time something bright would come out, it would actually just like blur out everything. So I didn't bother. And again, that's something that happens. You know, sometimes you get lucky and you get a nice video, and sometimes you've wasted a whole day. Why are there so many damn people out? What time is it? Let's see what time it is. Oh, it's only 12:38, so I haven't been riding too long. Let's go this way. But alright. But alright, that's where I'm going to call the video. So if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. Want to see more? Subscribe. If you really want to see more, might want to become a member. And with any luck, I will see you in the next video. And until then, take care.